Ever since I met you, everything is so perfect. I'll do anything for you, cause you're more than worth it.
First and foremost, free the whole world, boss. I am your gracious host, Caspian Montgomery. Welcome, Gaza Nation, to another episode of the Vybz Kartel Show. Today, we will be breaking down the brand new song, Cute Rider, to the patois illiterate, and this is the first single off the Of Dons and Divas Grammy award-winning album, so this is going to be wonderful. So without further ado, teacher, please begin.
Come in on your belly, sticky, sticky, sweet jelly. Wine for the load for the big bad Benelli. Anywhere you get it, you walk up and take it. Long time with it, and they must say we would make it.
Ardy, the innocent, begins the first verse by telling this woman that he's going to ejaculate right inside of her stomach and probably have another Gaza pickney. He then says, sticky, sticky, sweet jelly, and I'm going to let that line speak for itself. I think we all know what he's talking about. And then he says, wine for the load from the big bad Benelli, and that is a metaphor. He's saying that his penis is a Benelli shotgun, a pump shotgun, an Italian-made one, and it's a wonderful shotgun. He is referring to his penis as that, and he says wine for the load, so that is also a double entendre. Load could be ejaculate, and it could also be the shotgun shells that are going into the Benelli, so bravo on that line. And then he says, anywhere you can get it, so he's willing to have sexual relations at any moment, at any time with this woman. That is how wonderful this lady is, and she's ready to accept the peg. She's going to cock up and take it, so she's ready at all times too, so they make a perfect pair. And then he says, long time we're there, and they said we wouldn't make it. So he is saying that all the haters, the naysayers, and probably the women that want to be with Ardy, they all said that they wouldn't last as a couple, but guess what? They proved the haters wrong, and they have been together for a long time, and they are still going strong.
Twice how me life, doing it right, purposefully and not buck up your ties. Tell get a one fuck, come and get right, slap that, dim up our light.
Our great Gaza leader then says that this woman is the wife in his life, and they are doing it right. So this is the woman that he chose to spend the rest of his life with, and they are living purposefully. And then he tells her that they are probably dancing at the moment, and he says, do not back up into my nether regions with your gluteus maximus, because this woman apparently is very tight. And then he says, this other woman, she's a no one, just a one-night stand. He says she had sexual relations with him just one time, and then all of a sudden she decides to get bright, so she's starting to chat too much, to run off at the mouth. She's getting very, very feisty, this woman, probably talking about it and antagonizing his wife on Instagram. So he gives his wife permission to go and slap the S-H-I-T out of this woman and dim her light. So bright in patois means that you're chatting too much, you're getting too confident, and you're running off at the mouth too much. So this metaphor, when you get slapped, it'll dim out your light, and hopefully this woman will stop being so bright.
You get the car and the house key. She just get a bully beef key. Tell your lifestyle higher than Kiki. Dirty girl a chat, you no appreciate.
One Dawn then lets this woman know that she's going to get the keys to the house, to the mansion. She's also getting the keys to the car because she is his wife. She is the woman that he has chosen. And then he says, these other women, all they're going to get is the bully beef key. That is a hilarious line if you do understand what he's talking about. Bully beef is corned beef, and it comes in a tin, and a key comes with it, and it's like a can opener. You use this key and you go around it until the corned beef is open. So this woman, that is the only key that this woman is going to get, because she is nowhere near Adi's wife. And then he says, girl, your lifestyle is higher than Kiki, and I'm going to just assume that he's talking about Kiki Palmer, the actress that is also a singer, because she does have a very high voice. Or he could be talking about maybe the Drake's Kiki, because Drake is rich. I mean, have you seen his new mansion? It's like 50,000 square feet. So either way, he's saying that she's going to have a lifestyle that is better than both of these Kikis. And then he says, the dirty women, they will chat, they will talk behind your back, they will spread rumors, but you will not pre them. She doesn't care. She's not even listening to that. She is living in the lap of luxury. She has no need to pay attention to these dirty, dirty women. And with that last line, we have reached the glorious chorus.
Hey, girl, I saw your right body cute. Don't watch a girl with us a suck off the hood. Boom pan it, you no lose. Come pan it, wet it up with pussy juice. Boom pan it, you no lose. Come pan it, wet it up with pussy juice. Right pan it, right down, you no lose. Right pan it, right down, you no lose.
This chorus is very catchy, and I believe that the rhythm was produced by the legendary TJ Records. So big up yourself, TJ. World Boss says he's talking to this woman, and he says that she rides Buddy cute. So he's saying that she's a cute rider, hence the name of the song. And a buddy in patois is a penis. So she looks very cute riding a penis. And then he says, don't mind these other women that are just giving him fellatio. Just ignore that. He's not even having sexual relations with them. He's just allowing them to give him a blowjob. And then he says, boom pon it, you're not loose. So maybe this girl was born tight, or maybe she practices Kegels, but he's telling her to boom pon the buddy. And then he says, I don't even know if I can say this, but he says, come pon it, wet it up with vagina juice. And I've never experienced that in my life. Every single woman, we have to use lube because they are so dry, but I would love one day to experience what vagina juice is like. It is a wonderful chorus, and I can't wait for the rest of the Dons and Divas album. I have already pre-ordered it, and Gaza Nation, make sure that you do that. Also, we must support the Gaza.
Should I try to take your man? Mission impossible. Show them me ring, baby, you unstoppable. Man say you're cute, and your brother, you're lovable. Tip on your toe, cock it up, and then you bubble.
The king of dancehall begins the second verse by telling this cute rider, his wife, that another woman is trying to take her man away, and then he says, mission impossible. So he is affirming that this woman is not going to take Adija away from the cute rider. It would be an exercise in futility. And then he says, show them the real baby, show them what a real woman is like. Tell these other dirty, disgusting women what a real woman looks and acts like. And he says that she is unstoppable. And then he says, there's so many men that rate this woman. She is gorgeous. How could they not? He says she is cute, and she's broad, and she is very lovable. And then he says, tip upon your toes, cock it up, and then bubble. I like how he did that and made it rhyme with the rest of it. But yes, he says he knows that other men are ogling over her and looking at his woman and wishing that she was theirs. But and then he says, I have confidence in you. Why don't you show them how wonderful you whine and bubble? You're still going home with Adija at the end of the night.
Tell them are your enemy, don't yam from them. Anything you touch turn cold, them a brands, yeah. Trouble them a trouble, you forget you in a problem. Can't mind baby, she run down off them.
The dancehall hero then says that he's telling the cute rider, his wife, that she has a lot of fake people, fake friends around her. He says they are your enemies, so do not nyam from them. Do not associate yourself with them. Never let them cook you actual food. Don't even be around or associate with these people. And then he says, because anything that you touch turns to gold, while they are bronze. And you don't want to take a bronze statue and turn it into gold just by being around it. And then he says, they are trouble. They will only get you into problems. So he's just giving a bit of advice to this woman to make sure that she is always aware of her surroundings and knows who to associate with, because a lot of people will pretend they're your friends and they will actually bring you down, and he does not want to see this woman not living her best life.
Ever since I met you, everything is so perfect. I'll do anything for you, cause you're more than worth it.
Mr. Palmer then graces us with quite an infectious bridge. One of the best I've heard in a long time. He says, ever since he's met the cute rider, this woman, everything in his life has now been perfect. And then he says he will do anything for her because she is more than worth it. And he is very grateful to have her in his life.
I'm so grateful. In your eyes I see my way through. I like weed, I'm grateful. Rules rice body in my table. Cute rider.
The world boss then says that he is very grateful to have this cute rider in his life. And then he says, in her eyes, he sees the way through life. So her eyes are the window to his happiness. And then he says, yes, he likes marijuana, and who doesn't like marijuana? And then he says, that is his brain food, and I do agree, Mr. Palmer, because marijuana is also my brain food. How else could I record videos like this? And then he says that the cute rider has a Rolls Royce body, and the rest of these women have Daewoo bodies, and I just thought that was hilarious. She has the big body Rolls Royce that every single man has to stop and stare at, and these women, they have Daewoo bodies. I think anybody can afford to buy a Daewoo. They are like go-karts on the street, and I just thought that line was very inventive, and it goes with the entire song, Cute Rider. So it's just ingenious, and that is how you make a single. And with that last line, we've reached the end of another Vybz Kartel masterpiece. As always, thank you Gaza Nation for tuning in. Please remember to like, share, comment, and subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you do not miss an episode. I will not take up any more of your time. So until we meet again, it is Gaza me say forever.
Hey, girl, I saw your right body cute. Don't watch a girl where does a suck off the own. Boom pan it, you no lose. Come pan it, wet it up with pussy juice.